Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Who is on then? Let's see who is on. Good morning, everyone. Talk to me. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. While I prep, let's all jump on. Good morning. The talk continues. I see you. Good morning. Good morning. Keep jumping on. Tell someone to tell someone that the biggest conversation in creativity is back on. 4 weeks in a row. I think it's 4 weeks now, right? Come on, where is everyone? Cannot hear me clearly. Is that the case for everyone else? Oh, hold on. Something might be wrong. Give me a second. Oh, what is going on? I have found the problem. Is it better now? Is it better now? All good. Wonderful. Glad we rectified that. So, good morning, everyone. I see you, Zainab. Good morning. Leah, I see you. Good morning. Good morning, Tamara. Good morning, Deborah. Margaret, I see you. Good morning, Ma. Good morning. Okay, 5 minutes in. Remind everyone that we're on. Let's do this for another 3 minutes and then we move on. 3 more minutes and we move on swiftly. Put a message out. Let more people join in. Share this, share the link, get it out there. Good morning, sir. I see you, Mr. Calvin. Welcome to the conversation. 2 more minutes and we jump on. Give them a wake-up call in the chat. They might do a group call. Let's see what happens. Actually, don't do that. You might cut me off. Okay, it's going to be a very interesting conversation today. Any more for any more? Let's use this minute to remind people to join in. Publish this where you need to, especially send it to a very young creative out there who needs to know that they're not alone, that there's a conversation that's been going on for a long time, that they can jump on and get some direction. A lot of people have asked me for this link when we come on, but I can't remember who now, because I keep telling them, remind me in the morning today so I can send you the link. Ah, I remember one of them. So while we do the admin, let's go to 10 minutes in, and then let me share the link out to a few people. Good morning, young Amin, I see you. Welcome. Take your seat. And let's talk about creative value. It's an innate quality that everyone must have. So today's conversation is very, very interesting. Very, very interesting conversation we're about to have. Please share this out to as many people as possible. A lot of people will ask me about this throughout the week, but I cannot remember now. I just remember one person, I've sent it to them. Let's do that, and then we crack on. One more minute. We've already blown 10 minutes of our time, sorting out technical issues and doing a little bit of admin to welcome people on this live. I greet you all. Mr. Lauren Toba, I see you. Good morning, sir. Share this out to your community of filmmakers. Let's inject some value into our system today. If I'm going to give you a quick, brief, one-line summary of what we are going to talk about today, is we're trying to address, we're asking, I'm pushing for a reorientation. So it's a recalibration, redirection, if you want, of how creatives understand themselves in the world. So that's what we are going to, because if we've been tasked to achieve greatness this year, we have to understand where we are placed, how we are placed, who we are in this arena or this ground or this field where greatness is supposed to play out for us as creatives. And that is really every human being who is alive. Remember that first and foremost, because we are supposed to be change makers, and change comes as a result of creativity. If anything happens to anyone and their creativity is dimmed, even if it is lowered by just 1 degree, there is going to be a problem. Ask people who do high, what's the word? High level activities, sporting activity, if you like, where speed is of the essence. Sometimes when you look at when you look at still pictures of right at the end of let's say 100-meter race, 200 meters, or 400, whatever it is, you can see sometimes the margin by which someone wins. Now, if someone wins by such a minuscule or minuscule, whatever the word that is, margin, ask yourself, the person who they beat by that little much, when did their ability to push drop? It dropped by just something that seemingly is insignificant, and someone beats them. So that's what I'm trying to talk about today, that if we don't go into the arena where we are supposed to, where creativity is supposed to play out, fully charged, right on top, not leaking any ounce of power, strength, understanding, or literally, actually, let's see what we leak. Can we start with that? And then we get right into it. So remember what I said. I'm laying a foundation. I'm saying that creatives have to understand that there is a reorientation that needs to happen, a redirection in how we understand ourselves in the world. If not, we're not going to play hard. We're not going to play a good game. We will not deliver what is expected of us. So, what are we talking about today then? We are talking about our equipment, that thing in you which none of it should drop by any amount for you to do what you need to do. If if a creative like Usain Bolt is coming for you, the reason he's going to beat you in that race is because everything that's supposed to power him is at full blast, is right at the top. And we know what should power any creative when we look into scripture. Exodus 31, where God begins to speak to Moses, he says to Moses, see, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, who is of the tribe of Judah. Please, I beg you, insert your name. Insert your name, because that's what we're talking about today. Who are you? Do you have a name? Are you recognizable? Do you have value? We're talking about today creative value. So God mentions a person and says, I know this person from here to here and to here. But then none of those matters if God doesn't know them in the dimensions we're going to talk about today, which is, he said, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God, with wisdom, with understanding, with knowledge, and finally, with all kinds of skills. All of these things must be firing at the maximum without dropping 1%, even less than 1%, for you to be able to achieve what you are called to do. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, London. Good morning to the world. This is Let's Talk, a channel where we speak about creativity at hopefully in a way that it hasn't been spoken about or of in a long time, because we come from somewhere and we are placed here as creatives to achieve a task, to achieve a job, to achieve a vision. My name is Daniel Ihedua. I'm a pastor in the Nxtion family. Creativity is what we do. We use it to speak. We use it to achieve all kinds of things in various areas of endeavor in order to do what? Change lives. Welcome to today's talk. Creative value is something that I see that is missing. When I have conversations with young creatives or even seasoned creatives or people who have been in it for a long time, what is this that I'm speaking of, which is creative value? Let's dive into it. Let's start from looking at it from the point of view of the mistake at the heart of creative work. So the reason I'm using the word mistake is hopefully to get your attention and for you to look at yourself critically and say, am I making this mistake? Am I making a mistake? And the thing is, remember the title, keep that in mind, creative value. So the mistake is simply this. Let me go straight to the point. And this is not something you can blame anyone for. This is 100% on you and on me. Your creative value is not down to anyone external to you. It's not down to where you grew up. It's not down to it's not even down to the fact that something happened. Remember, if you can add up everything we've done so far, creative authority, creative leadership, and can someone remind me what last week was? Do you remember? Do you remember? Who can remind me what last week was? Who can remind me what last week was? No? Come on, guys. Week 1, creative authority. Week 2, creative leadership. Last week was what? Talk to me, guys. Come on. Don't make me feel like I'm alone. Absolutely. I wanted it to flood the place, but obviously I'm getting the answer from only one person. Or is your comment slow? Is it lagging? Creative future. And today, what we're talking about is creative value. So for you to have value in the future, which is tomorrow, which is an hour from now, you have to sort yourself out now. You have to understand, who am I? And you have to know what is powering you. These things we cannot forget. We're going with, okay, let me not lose my thought. So 4 weeks in, we're dealing with the authority, leadership, and then we looked ahead and say, what will the future be like? The future will be like whatever you are doing right now, and that's what we're going to look at. What mistake are you making now? And hopefully, if you're not making any mistake, stay where you are. So most creatives operate under the assumption that, okay, look at it from this point of view. Let me not waste time. Apple does not sell you a phone. Chanel, as a brand, does not sell you a bag. Rolls-Royce doesn't sell you a car. What they sell you is trust in value. I'm going to try and make that a bit clearer. You might think that you're a flyer designer, an illustrator, a poet, a thinker, not a thinker, I'm looking for tangible things, an architect, you draw buildings and things like that. But remember, or what today is about, is the thing you produce is nothing but a manifestation of the source. So what we've always done as creatives is we place value on the jacket. We place value on that flyer that you created. That poem that you wrote becomes your value. No, it's not. That campaign that is incredible is not the value. You are. Because if you look at your work against somebody else's work, you're going to enter the world, the workplace, this arena where the battle is fierce in terms of expression of creativity, expressing creativity. You will enter it because you're going to see somebody's work and look at it against your work, which you did yesterday, and think, no, you will diminish your own value. It's what we're talking about today. Creative value comes from not the work you do, it's from who you are. And what we're trying to do today is to understand what depletes who you are. How do you, and it's you, it has nothing to do with anybody. I refuse to, because someone can be on the outside of you and they can talk all they like. If you take what they're saying, you let that thing in. I can hear a knock now at the door. Listen, I know I hardly shop online. So I know I'm not expecting any delivery. If I need to get anything, I know where I want to, where I usually get stuff. I go there and I physically buy what I want to buy and I walk away. The only time I receive mail or delivery is if I've made something and it comes from China or from anywhere where it's been made. So I know exactly when I'm expecting a delivery. So if I get a knock on the door and someone is standing there, I guarantee you, I am never of, when did I order something? I will not let them in. I'm not even going to say, are you lost? Because it's one entertainment or one conversation I'm not going to get into. Usually, I'll be polite and say, how can I help you? And then they'll say, you've got a delivery. I said, no, I haven't. And then they will say the name, and I say, sorry, wrong address. So it's the same way. When someone says something to you, you say, no, I did not order that, so I will not receive that. You are of value. The work that you do is simply your signature appearing in the world. That's what it is. Imagine if we place, as much as the world is beautiful in its in so many levels, either it is at the very micro level or as majestic as the mountains that we see or the galaxies and incredible. But guess what? God doesn't place his value on those things. So why then does creatives lose their sense of value? Let me give you four deep reasons why this is happening or why it can happen easily. Remember, and all of it is based on what you let in. I hope you're with me. I hope I'm not losing you. Forgive me, I'm not trained to talk eloquently, believe it or not. I always like to speak my heart and speak my mind and be in a conversation. So if this is not hitting like academic, forgive me. Just listen to me and the point that I'm trying to make. So why creatives lose their sense of value? Four things I can put it down to. Number one, we are trained to worship outcomes, not origins. We are trained to worship outcomes, not origins. That's why this scrolling on mobile phone is destroying a lot of people. People are craving to go viral. No one wants to know whether who they are, the quality of them have come out. Okay, let me take it right back to when you were in school, one way or the other, anywhere there where schooling happened for you. It may not be formally in the four walls of a named school, it may be in a family setting, it may be among friends. But wherever schooling happens, what happens there is we are always rewarded for products. So let me leave it for if you went to a creative school or any type of school, it's going to be best drawing, best an essay, best design, best this, best that. In that, you are being trained to look for the best of an outcome. And as soon as you hear that and the best is not attributed to you, a diminishing begins to happen inwards. It might take 18, 20 years to play out, but you begin to think, oh, I didn't get best. Therefore, no, no, no. That's not point number one of what, one of the deep reasons why we lose our value. We are trained to worship outcomes, not origins. Because at the end of the day, if we put 6 drawings out or 30 from a class of 30 people and everybody produced a work on time, I'm not talking about someone who's lazy, who delivered their work late or it was shoddy. I'm talking about when 30 pieces of work, piece of artworks are placed or displayed right there, something came out of you. Nothing should diminish who you are. Well, guess what? Unfortunately, that's what it is. So we learn to believe my worth is in what I have or what I make. But that is backward. It is completely backward. The value was always in your mind. The value is always in my mind. It's in your mind because your perception, the character that can take an idea and make something in the first place, listen, that thing should be kept growing. Nothing should be allowed to diminish it. So remember, the world teaches us to value outcomes, but not the origin where it's come from. Did God not always say to us, come back to me, all you who are, stressed, broken, battered, heavy laden with problems? Come back to the source, because the source is where the juice is. Number two, we confuse service with subservience. And I beg you to look up these words in case I don't do it justice. So, creatives over time, especially if you are in a workplace where your output is that of doing flyers or doing designs, packaging design, whatever it is. Over time, this thing teaches us that in the workplace, I only matter if I please the boss. I only matter if I please the client. What? Don't get me wrong. I am talking about a belief that seeps into you that diminishes you. Anybody who is employing you, you should please them, but you shouldn't worship them. You shouldn't diminish in value because of somebody else. Because remember, there is a part you are playing in that thing, in that place, whatever, in that organization that cannot be taken away from you. So this, I only matter if I please this person, or when so let me say this use it to explain what I'm saying. So a client comes to me and they said, I want a logo. I said, okay, no problem. And then this is industry standard and I hate it. I don't think it should be, but hey, it happens. And they say, give me about 8 logos, and then I will narrow it down to 4, and then finally I'll choose one. I laughed my head off. So I said, okay, so I'll give you 8 logos, right? He said, yes. And we've agreed your logo is X amount, right? So are you going to pay me, let's say I charged him 10,000 for that logo. So you're going to pay me 10,000 pounds times 8, right? I said, no. So I said, so why would I produce 8 logos? Why would I produce 8 logos? Apply that principle anywhere. You walk into a restaurant and I say, I want this. And then you tell them, bring me 8. And then I'll test all 8 and then I'll pick one. Who is going to pay for the 8? Because they're going to take time, ingredients, so many things to prepare you 8 meals. And then I'm going to present you the 8 meals only for you to discard 7 and then eat one and pay me for one. Oh my God. I'm like, no way, it's not happening. I produce only one logo. Because if you give me the right brief, I know myself. I know the value I place on myself, not pompous, pride, whatever type of value. No, I know that I'm here to communicate. I mean, look around me. You will see the kind of books that I read. It says communication arts. I read these books for a long time, and I desired for my work to feature in any one of them, because they take the best of the best and they publish. I've always wanted, when will my work be published? Oh my God. So that way I have continued to hone my skill. I'm going ahead of myself, but I just have to. So I am that kind of creative who I will listen to you. I will do my due diligence. I will do research. I am going to scour the earth. Hopefully even, I am going to be so much in tune with the 5 things that God poured into me to make sure that I will know what the solution to your problem is. And guess what? Again, sometimes 10 out of 10 times, the client doesn't even know what the solution to their problem is. But what they want is what looks like Chanel logo, what sounds like the soundtrack or jingle to that commercial. So they want it like that. I said, no, I'm a creative. I create the original, or I take an original and give it an original twist that will serve you. So based on that, give me a perfect brief. If you know what your problem is, if you know what you want to achieve, if you know what your branding is supposed to do for you, if you know what positioning you want, if you know where your business is and what you do and who your clients are, we will reach them with the perfect expression of a logo. I'm not going to waste time doing 8. I will do just the one that you need. And it's always worked. Why? Value that I place on myself. I know I will be able to deliver. So we begin to treat ourselves like tools, not craftsmen. Yeah, use me anyhow to create what you want. No, no, no. The hammer does not negotiate its words. It's the carpenter that does. The value of that hammer is the carpenter. That saw is the carpenter. That chair that looks amazing. When you walk into any amazing furniture shop, it's not the tools that produce those things. It's the visionary carpenter. But sometimes we reduce ourselves to just tools that manager can use anyhow, or that client can talk to anyhow. Let me even tell you a funny one that happened. Someone messaged me and they said, just want to get into a creative conversation that they haven't paid for. They will send me something and say, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? So I will stop everything I'm doing and then I'll start processing something and then pass it on to them for free. No way. Number 3, please don't lose track. We are talking about 4 things or 4 reasons why we diminish our values or why our values are diminished. So we've talked about number 1, which is that we are trained to worship outcomes and not origins. Number 2, we confuse service with subservience, meaning don't bow to anyone. Stand proud of who you are and deliver service from a place of value, not begging, not broken, not saying if I don't know what I'm going to do. No, don't confuse service with subservience. And then number 3, we commodify our own gifts. You reduce your own gift to nothing but an hourly rate. You reduce your gift to hourly rate, day rate, hundreds of revisions. That's the one that I'm thinking, bloody hell. So I don't like this, change this. I don't like this, change this. I will turn to the person and say, I don't like you. I don't like you because you seem to be confused. What is it? If you let me, from what I understand about your business, I will tell you what color your business should be. Your brand colors, your this. But if you don't want me to do that, and I'm going to do it because you pay me to think for you. If you don't, think about what you want and come and tell me. I'm not going to bury myself in countless weeks and weeks of revisions just because I don't know what I want. And then deliverables. And it can go on and on and on. Creatives begin to believe that they are interchangeable. Interchangeable. No way. It's not possible. Number 4, we lack coherent identity. Who you are today is not who you are tomorrow. Who you are even 1 minute ago, you are somebody else. The question is, who are you? Look at it this way. Every brand knows who they are. Even if you will see a Goyard bag, you know that's a Goyard bag. If you see a Selfridges shopping bag, if you see that beautiful dark green, Harrods bag, you will know. Even bloody Greg's. When you see Greg's, you will know that's a Greg. That guy is eating a Greg's whatever product, chicken bake or anything. Why? Brands know who they are. The way they are positioned, the colors, their logos, the music, everything is speaking a language. But most creatives don't know who they are. Who are you? So that when a client meets you 10 times, you are 10 times the same person. If it's a no, it's still a no. If it's a yes, it's a yes. If you don't know what you are, if you cannot you cannot price what you are if you don't know what you are. You cannot price who you are if you don't know who you are. You cannot, how do I explain this? I'm sure you get what I'm saying. So what happens is you end up pricing tasks instead of pricing you. Am I making sense today? It's already 37 minutes and I feel like I haven't even started. So let's look at it this way. Here's where I'm beginning now to show you who you are, because this is where I like to live. Not for comfort even. In fact, it's the worst, it's the most uncomfortable place to live. Where you keep your value is the most uncomfortable place to live, because value is discarded every second in so many ways. I shared it on the day of our strategy meeting, and I said to you, you see scrolling and you're scrolling and you are, the question is, what are you consuming? What are you feeding yourself? And you're going to think, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. No, you're not supposed to be. You know why? You're supposed to be in a very uncomfortable place. Like what? Gold. Gold does not chase people. Yeah, actual gold that is in the ground. It doesn't chase people. Gold doesn't scroll on Instagram to say, let me see what's trending. No, gold forever and ever trends. Do your research. It is one commodity that hasn't dropped value since the beginning of time. I beg you to find me a time when they said the value of gold dropped. You will never find. Gold will never chase anyone. It doesn't advertise itself. It doesn't tweet. It doesn't discount. Okay, I'm not going to do it for 10K. Let me do it for 1.5. How do you go from 10K to 1.5? Gold does not discount itself. It doesn't beg to be recognized. Why? Its value is inherent. As in, oh my goodness, as in it cannot remove itself from itself. As in value is not possible. As in whatever gold drops, boom, value has just gone there again. The value of gold, it knows it's just inherent, it's inbuilt, it's everything about me is value, quality. But by the time you're going to look at yourself and you're remembering your childhood, you're remembering what happened to you, oh, your diminishing value is so quick, it's shocking. It's incredible. It doesn't matter where gold, how gold is buried in any kind of shit. Forgive my English. It's not French, it's English. It doesn't matter where it's buried, the value stays the same. It doesn't matter what you're going through, your value has to stay the same. Why? You're about to put out a work that will add one more corruption into the world, or it will remove one corruption out of the world in somebody's mind, in somebody's business. That's why I remember one client who called me one day. This was a long time ago. A biscuit factory, big biscuit factory. They called me one day and said, the packaging you designed has sold out. We have sold out. Unbelievable stuff. Let me tell you why that happened. I wasn't in any way, shape, or form. I wasn't surprised. Why? Research. It's like when a car manufacturer or a tire manufacturer, sometimes they're different from the car manufacturer. So Michelin, for example, they will create a tire. They will flog the life out of that tire and tell Mercedes-Benz or anybody, this tire will do this for you. At 90 miles an hour, it can take a corner and it can stop dead. Why? They did a research, they developed it, and they tested the hell out of it. It's exactly the same thing I did. So when I asked the guy, fortunately, I was dealing with the top dog, the top boy in the country, in the company. So he knew exactly what he wanted. So what do you want this thing to do? Who is the target market? And he told me the target market. I said, okay, no problem. So when I did the design, I canvassed and I went to every school in my area that had their target market. Even though it's funny that we do those things, because I helped whoever is watching, I helped put some sugar in your kid, which is not good. But hey, whatever it is. So I took the packaging that I designed. I went to as many schools as I could, and I said to them, "Can I present this to my clients?" So, huh? So yeah, and guess what? They let me. It was fun, and I produced X amount of designs. Don't think what I'm saying the other time is I'm contradicting myself. No, sometimes you have to produce X amount. So I produced about two or three. So I didn't want to confuse them anyway. I didn't do too much. I think it was either, I can't remember, it was either two or three designs, different designs. And I told the kids every time, at the count of three, all of you point to the one that you like. And I had a camera on and I was filming it. And I said, at the count of 3 points, and a good percentage will point at just one. And then another school, and that one hit the mark all the time. So I now took two designs and I went to the client and I dropped it on his table and said, which one do you like? And he showed me, he picked one. And then he called in some of his team and said, let's see what they like. I always warn people, in anything that I'm doing, I have one client. Even if you like have a team of 10, whoever is paying me, whoever is the boss is who I am. I don't care what anybody says. I am not going to do, how do I put it, revision after revision, because Rebecca there and Margaret there and Lua Femi there and John there and Paul there wants something that suits them. It's not, I don't do that. I don't do that. Yeah, you can say whatever you like. Don't come to me. I will deliver work based on give me a brief, and then I will add it to my own creative understanding, insight, research, and all those things. Sometimes it might just be as soon as I'm given a brief, I see what it should be. I design that thing and I deliver. It works. So he called his team in, and they all picked the wrong one. And then I played them the video. I said, "This is what your market picked," and that was it. So I said, "Make no mistake. Go with this one." So he called me not too long after that and says, after it was produced, biscuits were packaged and it went out to market, it says, the thing is selling out. I said, "Thank you very much." I said, "Thank you very much." Value, creative value. How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as gold? Listen, I don't care whether you have created a million flyers, you've built a building like the Shard standing in London. No, that building is in you. If you haven't created it yet, it's inside you. You have to nurture it out. You can't let anything destroy your ability to one day produce that thing because remember, the Bible says, see a man who is diligent in his business. It tells you where they will stand before kings, not mean men. So if you protect what you have and you're diligent with it and you're carefully doing what you need to do, you're going to be in front of kings, guaranteed. So let's look at three principles that is at play here that you can never miss. Three principles. I beg you, write this down. Principle number one, depth creates value. Yeah. Olympic swimmers, or if you want to go and compete, your training cannot be on the shallow end. Deep end, sir. Deep end, ma. Go there and tread water. One of the things that punished me when we were in the army. You will forever stand or in the deep end and just tread water. Oh my God. So depth creates value. Gold is valuable. Why? It's not on the surface. Gold is not on the surface. So hear me, creatives, I beg you. And I'm not talking about anyone who can draw or paint or who has any kind of creative flair. I'm talking about every human being who has the opportunity to hear my words now. Hear me. Value is hidden in depth. If your full creative power is easily accessible to anyone, like someone who messaged me and said, do me a logo. I'm thinking, yeah, because you have my number. That's why. Creative value. If your full creative power is easily accessible by everyone to everyone, you become common, not precious. Do this for me, and then you're doing. Listen, even if we're in the nation, yeah, I said it. I don't know how many things I've ever said no to, but oh my God, I say no like hell. So all I'm preaching here is value. All I'm talking about here is value. I'm not asking you to go and start tearing down or destroying relationships. No, it's value. Even there is a style they use now, even they'll come and say, is there anyone in your team? Is there anyone in your team who can do this? I say, is there any money in your pocket? Is there any money in your pocket, please? Because that person in my team, their time, I value it. If I'm going to ask them to come out of their way to do things, listen, it must resolve or convert to something economical or whatever. Sometimes I know that this must be done. Yeah, can you help do this thing, please? Let's not become common. Let's stay precious. So right now, many creatives give their best ideas too easily, too quickly, too cheaply. Gold says, if you want me, you have to dig. Yeah, have you heard that? Have you heard gold? If you want me, dig. So imagine you want to prospect for gold. You have to first of all go and raise millions of prospecting equipment, surveying. You have to even buy rights to the land you're about to, and then get experts. It's crazy. The investment is crazy before you even start looking for the gold. So gold says, if you want me, you have to dig. So a high value creative must say, if you want my mind, you must meet my terms. You must meet my terms. Easy. Easy. Principle number 2, because of time. Scarcity creates desire. Simple. Be scarce, as in don't be everywhere. And it's not even, how would I put it? I was going to say something that will come against something that you all believe in, but let me not go there. I'm not that bold yet. Scarcity creates desire. Watch where you hang out. Gold is rare. Let's leave things with gold. So let's use gold so they can understand what I'm saying. I hope people are hearing me, especially young creatives. And it doesn't matter. Someone like Amina is on today. She's young and she's trying to go into, let's say, the political field or the change-making arena. You have to be scarce. You have to be gold. So that value is, I don't know how to explain it. If you want to join any party and they say, yeah, just walk away from them and keep polishing that gold. Keep doing what you need to do in order to keep increasing your value. You don't over-explain. You are not over-available. You don't over-deliver just to please someone. You don't over-justify why your logo. Why is the logo 10K? My question would be, why am I talking to you? You know, there are some shops where people don't ask, what's the price of that? People are like, oh my God, what did you just say? Did you ask the price? Go, out. As soon as you ask for the price, they know brokers. Get out. So I'm telling you, be rare, be scarce. You have to act as, creatives act as if they are abundant. We're everywhere. I need a flyer. I need a flyer. I need a this. I need a this. No, 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 no. Remember what I said. Before they prospect for gold, you have to go and raise investment to be able to do that. Let someone, listen, I even respect the fact that someone comes and says, I have only 10 pounds. Just because they've thought of it and they've known, even though you're going to check that and say, 10 pounds, is that how you value me? But you will know who is genuine. They've placed value on who you are. Please. I'm saying scarcity here is don't be absent. I'm not going to be anywhere I'm supposed to be. No, I'm saying be intentional. It's not just to disappear because I'm proof. I'm trying to be scarce. No, it's not possible. It's not what I'm saying. Principle number 3. Processing proves worth. So I'm not talking about just be gold for being gold's sake. But there is a processing that has to be involved here, because gold is not sold raw out of the ground. Nobody's going to still place value on it. There's not cow stuff on it. Please walk away from me with that. What's that? But it's gold. No, it's not gold. Go and process it. Go and process it. Turn it into a signet ring or something. A necklace, earrings, whatever it is. Process it. Similarly, what you have to do is refine yourself. Before gold is sold, it has to be refined. So if we're trying to even boldly or arrogantly say we are gold, refine yourself. Are you refined? What is your taste like? If I'm sat here now talking to you, if you knock on the door and walk in here, will my space be congruent or be match what I'm saying? Or are you just gold because you say I'm a creative and gold? No. Does every space, around every area, every inch, every corner of this space match who I am? If we come to where you are watching this now, what are we going to find? Creative. Creative. You can't even creatively clean your space. Come on. Refine yourself. Refine your taste. The world must see that you are thinking, your thinking is refined. Your taste is refined. Your judgment is refined. Your speed is refined. You take time when you have to take time. And when you need to deliver excellent, quick work, you deliver excellent, quick work. Refine 0 to 60 in 2 seconds or 0 to 100 in minuscule seconds. Is that not what makes those cars valuable? Ferrari, Lamborghini, all of them. You blink, it's gone. Refinement. Every part of it is tuned. Aerodynamic shape, engine, 8 cylinders, whatever it is. Perfection orchestrated. Refinement. Find refinement. This is what makes people trust you before they even see your work. So that by the time you say a logo is 10K, a logo is this, my speech is this. If I'm going to stand and talk, it is this amount. Or I'm not going to go there, here's what I'm going to go, because I am not. You know how many times we found good places to go do service? Please, I'm not going there. No, thank you. And these are not even like the bad areas of town. So no, I have transcended. There is a refinement with him. He's not going there. So how can creatives regain their value? Internally first. It starts here. There has to be a shift identity where you say to yourself, I am the source. So pick up a lemon now and squeeze that lemon. Lemon juice will come out. But if we squeeze you as a creative, what's going to come out? Depression, fear, anxiety. Oh, I don't know if I can do it better. What will come out? What should come out is liquid gold. So again, as I'm beginning to round up, again, I've written so many things for this. So how do you become what we are talking about? Shift identity. Shift identity and begin to tell yourself, I am the source. It starts from this belief. I am not hired for outputs. I am sought for insights. When people are looking for me, it's for insight. Insight. I crave to be ready for insight. And even if I'm able to answer anybody's question or help or be part of something, it's because I am constantly refining myself. Let me propose a scripture for you that you have to go and die with. 2 Corinthians 10, from verse 3 to 6, it tells you how to clean house. I don't have time to go there, but please, I beg you, read that thing in as many versions as possible. After this, if you still don't understand it, come, let's talk. Because you have to understand that refinement, this shifting of belief, it starts from the inside. So that you will stop being hired for outputs. They will know that this guy will solve the problem. And here's X amount on the table because we value what you do. Have you ever when PT says, what am I doing with you people? For me to even come and talk, drop something. Some guy, I wish I can find that link, I'll show you. He paid 4 million to spend an hour with somebody. And we're here fretting over a small contribution. Let me tell you what I've just said, what it means. If you are the source, it means You are not a service provider. You are the source of creative intelligence, which is a topic that we'll talk about next time. Creative intelligence. That's what you're a source of. Step number two in changing how your outcome into value is to develop a signature way of thinking. Do they know you as someone who will complain before they do something? You are going to always sink before you rise. By the time the situation has passed. Remember, signature way of doing things is what makes any brand valuable. Creatives must do the same because they have a distinct logic. For example, how do you talk? Even saying that now, I'm hoping that how passionate I am about this is not causing me to lose what I'm trying to communicate. So how do you talk? What is your speed of insight? If you see a problem, are you going to say, give me 9 days, let me figure it out? Or are you so tuned into that thing where we draw inspiration and just have insight instantly? Strategic clarity. How quickly do you have clarity about something? And it's not just because, oh, I know what to do. No, the strategy element is always key. That's why I say strategic clarity. And then finally, obviously, creative authority. Who sent you? Who sent you? And then my best of the best, high speed thinking. So if we're doing set design for an event, even though yes, we have done mock-ups and we know where this thing is going, what it needs to be like, while we are setting it up, everybody's thinking because we might encounter things we didn't see on paper. High speed thinking, because guess what? That event must start at 1 p.m. Any minute now, Peter's going to walk through the door. He must see solution after solution, not a patchwork of problems. He must see that my people are thinking, these people are thinking. Now, if a young person, I was going to say how old I am, but let's not go there. Amina, who is 18, is watching me. She must see high-speed thinking. She must see creative authority. She must see strategic clarity, speed of insight, and a genuine passion or a high-level refinement in the room, attacking problems and working and so on and so on and so on. There's no time. Your mind has to become your brand instead of becoming what destroys you. Step number 3, protect your energy like gold protects itself. High-value creatives do not give everything to everyone. Do not explain their genius to those people who can't appreciate it. And do not work from desperation. Protect your energy. Are you hearing me? Protect your energy. You must begin to behave like something that is precious, for goodness sake. Why? 2026, year of greatness. How are we going to become great? The market has to see you and know, okay, this is the people, this is value. Number 4, separate price from worth. Time is up, you know. But I have more to cover. Let me show you what this last one means. Separate price from worth. You may charge for work, yes, but internally you must know that your worth is non-negotiable. You have to. Price is nothing but a transaction, but you see worth is existential. Well, Google that word. How to make this known then to the world without selling yourself, cheapening yourself. Never chase value. You want value to chase you. And how you do that is become unmistakable as I round up. Become unmistakable. Why? People don't discover gold randomly. They hear whispers of it. Oh, there's gold there. They hear, we must be heard of in whispers. We must be heard of in whispers. Creatives they must become, or you have to become sought after when you have developed an unmistakable presence, how you are, how you think, how you work, how you speak, how you move. You must become unmistakable. Like, okay, I know who these people are. I always tell people, when you go out and you say you come from the State House, do people know that you are? Do you show what I show? If not, bounce. You have to become unmistakable. Then finally, let your work, it's not finally, there's so many I haven't even covered. Let your work act as proof, not persuasion, proof. You don't want to say, oh, let me show you. No, you drop a work, they say, okay, now I see why he's quiet. Now I see, even someone will say, now I see why he's arrogant. Now, or seemingly, or it could be straight up arrogance. Now I see why this. No, because your work is your proof. Listen, nobody goes to buy a, a, a Picasso because of the painting. No, the painting is worth what it's worth because of Picasso. And that's the summary of where we are going. Your work will become your proof. Gold doesn't tweet, but when it's found, it's undeniably gold. So don't fret about, will people know me? Will people like me? No, do your work, be gold. So when you are found, it will be undeniably gold. And in the meantime, you should be rare. Your work should be rare. You should be precise, powerful. Your work should be distinctive, and so on and so on. And finally, just like gold, let me stop with this one. What time is it? Give me 10 more minutes, I beg you. Align yourself with the right environment. I cannot miss this point. For you to shoot up in value, just like we say, gold is not everywhere. There are places where it is shoved deep into. The same thing you have to do. Align yourself with the right environment. Be found in only specific places, just like gold. High-value creatives must position themselves where value is already respected. We are respected here in the nation. Why? PT respects us. He created a strategy office. Every one of us must find ourselves in this office that he respects because he created it. What is my role here? Who am I here? You must find yourself in high-level rooms. You must only work with discerning clients, not idiots. Please, I beg you. Discerning clients, I don't care who they are. Can they discern that God said, in this person, I poured in my spirit. I poured in oodles, as in buckets of wisdom, as an unending source of wisdom, skill, and all kinds of things he poured into it. That is what we're looking for. That's the room where you have to be in. That's the environment you have to find yourself in. Why? Environment amplifies the perception of work. It's as simple as that. Every environment you're in, it amplifies or it destroys the thing you're putting out. What? What are you talking about? That's why sometimes you will see that somebody is online talking rubbish, but I can see everything. I can see you. You are half naked or not. I'm thinking, so you're coming up with incredible, wonderful, whatever seemingly, but look, this environment, I'm going to stop it here today. Creative value. I'm not going to say find it. It's in you already. Polish it, refine it, protect it, guard it, so that every one of us can be like every one of us. What I mean by that is, how I am is how you are. Our thinking, everything. When a 6-man SEAL team is approaching a target, all of them are the same. All of them are the same. Let me tell you the danger of what we're doing here now. If we pick up your social media and we look at what you are algorithmically poisoned or pushed to, you will see how different you are from me. It doesn't matter, because this now is just 1 hour, right? We just spent 1 hour here now, but your phone and those algorithms, you will be with it 24/7. So guess what? Those things may cancel out everything you're hearing now. As in, literally, go and look at For You page, the things that are on your page, and the things that are on my page, and the things that are on everybody's page, completely different. That means we are completely different people. Yes, we have to be different people. But I'm thinking, what does that do to the mission we are as creatives? Is that why if I turn up, you won't turn up? Or if you turn up, I won't turn up? If you say we can do it, and I say we can't do it? What is diminishing my value? To know that when we come together, we are a beast. They will always tell you that when a six-man SEAL team comes for you, or Delta Force, or all these special forces, you're finished because they are so locked in as one. And they know, God help you, you've attracted our attention. Value. We all have to be alike. I'm going to leave it here today. I love you all. There's an incredible amount of work out there for us to do. Let's go do it. But first and foremost, clean house. Shoulders high, head up. You are somebody of worth. If you want to know what your worth is, Exodus 31. Read that and see what you are fielding. Let me end with this. Put side by side Exodus 31 and Genesis 1:26. I think so, where God says, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. Exactly the same thing in Exodus 31. It tells you how to be fruitful. Be fruitful. How are you going to be fruitful? The Spirit of God. Multiply your fruits. How are you going to multiply? With wisdom. So God says, I've filled him with the Spirit of God, which means he's going to be fruitful. How are you going to multiply? Like Genesis 1:26 says, by wisdom. Because with wisdom, we will know what to do with our creative strength, with our creativity, with your ability to draw or write or sing. You will know. Why? Because you've got God's wisdom inside you. Now, how are you going to replenish the earth? You're not going to hand it out to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Understanding. Of Exodus 31. He said this is what he's filled every creative with. And I beg you, believe me, every human being. So by understanding, you will know how to replenish the earth with your creativity. That's why I pray that this thing that we're sharing goes as far as it needs to go to reach as many young people as possible. And finally, how do you subdue the earth? Wicked people will subdue it with wickedness. But it says here, you will subdue the earth with knowledge. And how will you have dominion? Like it says in Genesis 1:26, because it says here, I have put in you the ability to perform all kinds of skill. Hey, we don't have any excuse not to make it this year. We don't have any excuse. Genesis 1:26, I think, juxtapose it with this Exodus. You see why this is possible. This is what I charge everyone. I don't care whether you are Christian, whatever you are, hear these words and beg for these things to dwell in you. It is what you must go and encounter and interact with every day more than your social media, so that we stay on top and we keep our value. I love you all. Have a wonderful day. Good day. Bye for now. Until next week.